Mootown, 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 a place for your moon.
Please try to imagine yourself in the situation I'm about to describe, a situation that might be really hard to picture. But the truth is, many people around us are actually living in it every single day. This video is about people who struggle with anxiety disorders, ADHD, obsessive thoughts, panic attacks, and similar conditions. And this isn't something sad or shameful, because millions of people around the world are dealing with the same challenges. What is sad, though, are the things we say and do as the people around them, words and behaviors that we often don't realize can actually make things worse. They can trigger more anxiety attacks, increase their stress, and make their lives even harder without us ever noticing. In this video, we're going to talk exactly about that, the words and behaviors that might be hurting others without us meaning to. So please listen till the end, because I'm sure none of us ever want to make the people we care about feel worse, even though many of us do it unintentionally. What I want to say before anything else is this. Please don't think that when someone has this disorder, they're just being energetic or restless. It goes way deeper than that. I think about things most people probably never even notice, stuff that seems totally normal to them. And what really bothers me is when people around me say things like, just don't think about it, or, come on, let it go, it's nothing, or you're overreacting, or, why are you even worried about that? Like, I wish I could just stop thinking about it. It's not like I choose to. They act like there's nothing to worry about, like it's all in my head. But those words don't calm me down. If anything, they just make me more stressed. Because then I start thinking, why am I like this? And then there are some people who actually do understand, but because they care too much, they get really worried. And that kind of worry doesn't really help either. Because when I'm having an episode and someone next to me starts panicking, I start thinking, oh no, something's really wrong. Why am I like this? What do I look like right now? All their worry transfers to me, makes me even more scared, and ends up making everything worse. When it comes to how others should react, please don't point out what's physically happening to the person in that moment. Like, don't say things such as, your hands are shaking, or you're sweating, or your voice is trembling. It only makes them feel embarrassed and even more anxious, because now they know that everyone else sees what they're going through. When people try to deny what I'm feeling, that's honestly the worst part. Like when they say, it's all in your head, or you're just overthinking it, you're making it happen yourself. That kind of denial doesn't help at all. It just makes me feel unseen, like what I'm going through isn't even real to them. One of the things that happens to me during an attack is that I can barely breathe. It's like I can't breathe in or out. Everything just stops. My whole body freezes. And what really gets to me in those moments are the looks people give me. When it happens, I honestly don't want to see the people who were there afterward. I feel embarrassed, like I've lost control in front of them, and it just makes me uncomfortable. Especially when they keep trying to calm me down, saying, it's okay, nothing happened. When to me, it did feel like something really happened. It's not about people constantly telling me I'm overreacting or making a big deal out of it. Because inside my head, I know I'm overreacting. I'm fully aware of it, but I just can't control it. And that's the most frustrating part. That phrase people say, don't stress, might be the worst thing to hear. Honestly, it's the most impossible thing in that moment. I am stressed, and I literally can't control it. You know, sometimes those words might sound nice, but honestly, they don't help me at all. Because I know that person has no idea what it feels like when I'm having an attack. Those 20-30 minutes feel like forever. What I actually need in that moment isn't advice or reassurance. I just need someone to sit next to me, maybe hold my hand, or give me a hug. Just someone who makes me feel safe, like they're really there with me. Just that would be enough. I have ADHD. I've had it since I was a kid. And the symptoms that come with it can honestly be paralyzing. They affect almost every part of my life. All the time that I've lived with ADHD, the hardest thing to hear has always been stuff like, why are you so stupid? Or, why do you always lose everything? But the truth is, I'm not stupid and I'm not irresponsible. It's just not something I can control. It's not like I choose to lose my things. People like us tend to be really careless, especially when it comes to the little details in the lives of the people we love, whether it's family or a partner. We can be super restless too. Sitting still is almost impossible, waiting in line feels unbearable, and focusing takes so much effort. We also make impulsive decisions, like in the moment we'll do something without thinking about the consequences at all. And maybe the hardest part is that we're more likely to struggle with depression than most people. We deal with it a lot more often and a lot more deeply. What hurts me the most is when people say things that actually make the anxiety stick around, or even get worse. Stuff like, "You got anxious last time too, and nothing happened," or, "You always freak out for no reason. I know my anxiety isn't normal, and I don't need to be reminded of it all the time." And when someone says something like, "You're a doctor. If you're like this, imagine your patients," it really eats me up inside. It makes me start thinking, what if I actually hurt someone one day? I reached a point where I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't keep living like that. So I decided to start my treatment with the help of a doctor. And honestly, with my psychologist's help, I was finally able to convince my parents that taking medication isn't a bad thing, and that seeing a doctor isn't something to be ashamed of. It's something that can actually help me. There are two reasons I wanted to share all of this. First, so we can understand which of our words and actions are actually harmful, and stop repeating them. Most of us don't really get how painful anxiety or panic attacks can be. Something that feels small or harmless to us, a casual comment, a reaction, a tone, might actually trigger a really bad episode for someone else. And second, because a lot of people don't want to face the fact that they might be struggling with one of these disorders. Of course, only a doctor can make that diagnosis, and labeling ourselves isn't always the right thing to do. But the truth is, many of these conditions can be managed or even treated with therapy sessions or sometimes medication. But in our society, taking medication for mental health is still seen as wrong. People feel embarrassed or hesitant to take it. Yet, when we catch a cold, we follow a doctor's instructions and take medicine for our physical health. So why wouldn't we do the same for our mental health if a doctor says it's necessary? Many people would rather endure these conditions than see a doctor. A lot of families watch their child struggle, but won't let them see a doctor because they think medication for mental health is bad. But that's not true at all. If we cared about our mental health as much as we do our physical health, a lot of people's lives would improve. Of course, taking any medication without a doctor's guidance is wrong. Everyone knows that, but it's worth saying. Please share this video because so many people around us are dealing with these disorders, and many of us might not even realize that some of our words or actions have been harmful. Maybe hearing this could help someone feel better.
Mootown, 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 a place for your moon.